Hey, what's up, guys? So this has been uh not the best week ever. I'm managing somewhat, but I finally closed on my house. I'm trying to get everything squared away, and funny that my mom actually advised that I don't trade because I'm not very good at multitasking, and I didn't listen. I probably should have because, as you'll see here in a little bit, like some of these trades just aren't that great. My mind's not 100% on trading, and so it just I don't know. I know that I'm not good at that kind of stuff. I shouldn't have fought it, but I did because I had a great week last week. I wanted to add a little padding. I plan on furnishing my house with the profits I made last week from the stock market. So I was like, well, heck, I made decent money last week. Like, make some good money this week, and you know, have a little bit more padding in the bank for when I move down to Orlando. And that's exactly the wrong way of looking at it because if you start thinking about just money it somehow it just everything twists and everything just falls apart. So, anyways, I started off the week trading ARTL. It popped up here. It looks like I started scaling in on weakness. Down here at VWAP, I thought I was gonna have a little pop stuff. Um, had a little pop and stuff right at the open. Didn't work. I cut it off. I started scaling in. But this thing's got no range at all. Um, so it's kind of a waste of time. I mean, I made okay money on it, I guess, but it's like I remember talking to one of my buddies who's like, dude, like you load the boat, you go in with a ton of shares, and you're thinking you're a rock star, and then it moves 5 cents, and you cover partial, and you're like, oh. Yeah, I'm not that great. It's like, yeah, I know exactly what you mean because I mean I started scaling in here, decent trade, I covered like it was like a 3 cents cover because I was really looking for a pop up to 135s. Didn't happen. I covered a piece. I shorted weakness again, which is not good. I scaled in a little bit more, scaled in a little bit more, and then I covered break even. It popped up here. I shorted cover, 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 and I trailed the rest. So it wasn't a great trade by any means, but I where is it? Why is it not on here? Well, I hope I charted this one up a little bit because this one is the one that I killed it on. This one made my day, so I did. So this thing started popping up here. I got in right on the stuff. It was a pretty quick, easy trade. I took the stuff. I covered down here. Um, and I just left it alone. I mean, it was a nice little quick trade, middle of the day, but then it just started grinding up, and I left it alone. Luckily, I didn't. I know I was looking for like around the $2 range, but like it didn't do what I wanted to do right at the $2 range, so I kind of left it alone. I've been watching how they pop it above because a couple weeks ago it was all about fake breakouts. So I would start shorting stuffs. Well, now they're not just stuffing right under; they're popping up, then they're holding the breakout level and then just keep pushing. And so like when I was watching over here at the $2 area, it just kind of broke through, stuffed a little bit, came back up, opened, and then it held the $2. And it popped up and I was just like I wasn't willing to hop in. It didn't do exactly what I wanted to do. It's kind of trappy ish. And so at least to me, I don't know, I'm not uh super skilled trader. I'm still a beginner, so I mean, maybe somebody that's watching this is could be like, oh no, like that's a great entry or whatever. But to me, it wasn't worth the risk. The biggest thing I've been trying to do is protect my profits because I get doing good like I did last week. I did really well, and then I get too ballsy and I risk way too much, and that's kind of what happened this week a little bit. So I traded Weemy, a nice little win here. I went in partial size because it's not an A plus setup. I shorted here. I covered partial. I wanted to pop above here, so like I covered, you know, how many shares playing was. So I probably covered like a third right here, and then I held for the final target, which it worked out pretty well. But I had a really good win on SBEA, but for some reason I feel like this is going to be kind of a. I remember this thing being like a giant headache for me. So higher price stock. Um, so this is kind of like I'm actually currently in a trade right now on ALZN, and like that's the one thing that I don't like is like this stuff is it just trades lateral like all freaking day long. Well, whatever. You can see it's forming like a wedge. So I shorted here, I added to it, I covered, I shorted, I added short, cover, cover, and like it worked out really well for me. Um, I mean, it had a lot of range, so I was in smaller size on this one. Um, then I traded. This is the one that the next day these two kicked my butt. I'm pretty sure I ended with a max loss on this one. This one just is horrible. So, um, started popping up here through 23s. I shorted, risking that high. I covered, it stuffed. I instantly got right back in, but then it held VWAP and started curling, squeezed me. Got stopped out. And I shorted right after the stuff. I should have covered, but it reclaimed the 9, reclaimed VWAP. I should have trailed right here. I didn't. Which is actually, I'm glad I'm talking about this right now because I'm about to cover some on ALZN. If this thing pops up a little bit, I want to trim some of my stuff off because it's holding J lines, about to reclaim VWAP, doing the same kind of stuff. I cut break even on this sucker. Like, I mean, I was pretty in the money here, and then I shorted stuff and got popped up, and I hit max loss, and I was just like, dude, you gotta be shitting me. Like I was like way in the money down here, and I don't know, you know, it is what it is. You gotta start figuring out like how you want to trade things, like how you gonna trail, how like where do you want to short at. I like these extensions and stuff, but like it's everything's been really trappy lately. Like I mean, there's a lot of stuff's right in here, and then it just holds and pulls up. I need to start watching for this kind of stuff. It shows like you know a lot of covers are buying pressure. Um, I just covered on ALZN. I'm hoping this thing goes to retest high day. We'll see how that plays out here in a little bit, but if not, then I'm going to end the day red. Um, then the next day, I traded HCDI. So yesterday was a long and very stressful day. I ended break even on trades, but I was red on commissions. This thing was just unbelievably trappy. So this thing popped up, stuff of 250. I shorted, I covered, I reshorted, covered break even. Zoom in a little bit. Popped back up here, started stuffing out. I shorted, I covered break even, shorted, short, cover break even, and then this is where I started getting pissy because I was waiting for this thing to pop over $3 again, and right after I covered, I was just like, man, don't risk anything. It just tanks, and I'm like, dude, I would have just killed it, but I got shaken out because that's my biggest problem. I've been jumping in too early, which is exactly what happened to me today. I got in too early, uh, then I get cut up, and then when the opportunity does come up to where I could take the trade, but I need to risk a little bit more, I can't take it. Or if I do take it, I gotta take it with small size because I'm already down a decent amount. So then I do stupid shit like this, where I'm drawing in trend line, I'm shorting. I don't know why I added down here, and I cut it all off. I shorted, cover, short, cover, and it was not a good day at all. Then I traded CN, CE. So this thing had a really high institutional ownership, so I was kind of nervous about it. I shorted, I covered in the money. It came back down here. I shorted, risking just above, and then I held pretty much for the final target. But then I traded CRXT. This one sketched me out because this is a really small float. I think it was like 2.5 million float or something like that. So I was trying to be very cautious, using way smaller size because it's a higher price stock. And I mean, this thing just ripped. So I shorted. I covered, recycled, and covered. But I was sweating bullets here. And I was just like, man, I don't know. This might be a really stupid idea. I don't know if I should do this. And then I also shorted pets yesterday. And I was going to hold this thing into after hours. I was talking to my buddy Chad, and he's like, don't go full retard. And I was just like, dude, like, I wanna make back my profits. You know, I was looking to cover down towards 340s. I covered a smaller piece at 360s. I wanted an extra 20 cents. I was gonna add extra stress to my day for 20 cents, which is just stupid. This thing started popping up. I shorted. I covered. Short, cover break even. Short. I covered, recycled, cover, and then I was like, you know what? I want to lower my stop to break even. If it hits break even before after hours, then I'll leave it alone. If it doesn't, I'm looking for this thing to fade. And it ripped, covered, and I'm glad I was looking at it over here, and I was just like, you know what, dude, you don't know anything about after hours. Just leave it alone. You know, stay in your niche. And I'm glad I was to myself because this thing just ripped, man. It just shot up like crazy. And so then I traded ALZN today, and I'm not doing too great on this stupid thing. So I say it's just trading lateral right now. It's just slowly uptrending. I'm hoping that this thing pops up here. I covered everything right here. Which watch, I'm probably gonna regret it. It's probably gonna just tank, and I'm like, shit. But anyways, as long as I'm in a max loss, I'm learning, I'm getting screen time, I'm happy with it. So I've been looking for these $3. I love the $3 stuffs. I started scaling in here a lot, and I got squeezed. It was like a 10-cent stop, wasn't anything huge. During the trend line, I shorted, I covered, I shorted, I added to weakness, which is just stupid. I keep on looking for this fail of three. I don't know, like I was getting FOMO, didn't want to miss out on the fade. I got stopped out, break even, came over here again. I shorted, I covered, I added to the short, I covered short. Pretty sure I'm like 90% sure. No, I did not cover. Okay, well, I mean, at the same time, like it's not huge range anyways. Like it's like 10 cents. So I didn't cover here. I added to it, and I covered all right here just a second ago. What I'm looking for this thing to do is I'm looking for this thing to. I want it to pop up and test high of day over here because it's been trading lateral underneath the VWAP. I'm hoping for this thing to hold and pop, and we'll see if it happens. If it does, cool. If it doesn't, then I will end the day red. Um, but next week I will be in. I got my house in Orlando, so I will be down in Orlando. But I don't know if I'm gonna be trading all that much. And if I do trade, I think I'm gonna just trade paper because everything's gonna be different. Uh, I want to kind of get settled in a little bit and not have like too many stressors going on. I got a lot of stuff I need to figure out once I get there. So we'll just kind of see how it goes. Um, but I think I, I mean, I'm still up. Um, I don't know if I'm up on the week or not. Yeah, I am up on the week, but just like just a little bit. I'm not up like a lot. I was up quite a bit until Wednesday, and then that just kind of kicked me in the butt. But I've been trading the P&L, and it's not been doing good. Like I said, I'm looking for this thing to pop up towards 340s. If this thing went up to 340, 350s, I will be the happiest dude in the world because I'm going to short the hell out of this thing, and hopefully it just plummets. Um, we'll see how it goes. Anyways, if I have any advice, I would just say, this isn't just for the people that are watching; it's also for me when I go back and rewatch these. But don't trade the profits. Don't look at the P&L and just trade the setups because the more I started trading the P&L and not trading the setups, everything just went to shit. So if I can just stay calm, like I, I started adding stress because I was like, man, I'm gonna start trading full time when I'm down in Orlando, but like I kind of got things set up to where I don't really need to make a ton of money. And but when I started thinking about that, like of course then you start thinking about the money and you're like, man, if I can have weeks like last week, I'm gonna be killing it. But then it starts messing with you mentally, and then once your mind starts going all over the place, it just kind of falls apart. So I need to just get back to just trading for fun and not worrying about the money right now. Like if I trade the setups good, the money's just gonna come. So, anyways, I appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching, and hope you guys have a good week. Later.